Companion planting had its origins in China and Egypt over 1,000 years ago. And while there's minimum scientific evidence to see that companion planting actually works, we're continually seeking out different varieties and different planting combinations that grow really well together. Now, there are very real characteristics why companion planting actually works. And I like to think of it as a symbiotic relationship where the physical characteristics and growth habits of certain plants will benefit other varieties. Some provide shade, attract beneficial insects, stop weeds from thriving, or improve the soil. Companion planting is even used to improve flavour of nearby veggies. While there are some great companion planting combinations, there are some universal scented plants that can be used in many situations. These include common plants such as rosemary, lavender, thyme and sage, all hardy herbs that are easy to grow and can be planted in amongst a garden bed or in pots amongst other herbs such as chives, parsley or tomatoes. When it comes to popular companion planting combinations, there's none more popular than tomatoes and basil. Not only do they grow well together, they taste fantastic. Now, it's the time of the year to put them in as the weather warms up. You need at least 6 hours of sun a day. Well, we can do that in Australia. Some good soil, and grab yourself some controlled release fertilizer. The release of nutrients depends on temperature. So as the weather warms up and the plants start growing, the nutrients are released to match it. Conversely, when the weather cools and plants' growth rate slows down, the fertilizer release rate slows down too. There's extra iron in this formulation, as the plants are going to need it, with lots of fruit, keeping leaves green and resistant to disease. When it comes to planting tomatoes, it's one of only a few varieties of plants. I recommend burying deeper than the original soil level. In fact, up to their neck is fine. What this is going to do is encourage roots to grow all along the stem, and a stronger root system is going to ultimately give you so much more fruit. When planting basil, don't plant it any deeper than the original soil level because it's prone to rotting. Always plant a few underneath the tomatoes because as the tomatoes grow up, they shade the basil and you'll end up with beautiful basil right through summer. Sprinkle around a little controlled fertilizer, scratch it in, and the result, the best tasting basil you've ever grown. Look for companion planting combinations that can either be planted in the ground or in a pot. Include mint and tomatoes or sage and rosemary. Make sure you use premium potting mix, one specially formulated for herbs and veggies. It'll have all the added ingredients these plants just love. Composted manure, seaweed and blood and bone. Building up the numbers of beneficial microbes is so important. The healthier the soil, the stronger the plants and the better they taste. In the end, how much produce we want is all to do with the soil. The secret to gardening is about the soil. So if yours is not going so well, maybe you could try this one, Osmocote Plus Organics, and that's got added soil improver and will make a huge difference. Now, if you've got a favourite companion planting combination that you would love to tell us about, don't forget to get in contact.